Listen, before we get started with the show, hello everybody. Why don't we have Greg and Austin tell us what's going on with them, so I can put them on the spot. They can talk for a few minutes because, you know, he's here hanging out with us. So, Greg, why don't you and Austin get up here and tell what's going on with you guys? You know, I know you're hanging out at the casino. What's going on? Tell everybody what you're doing.
We'll discuss that later.
Spoken like a true promoter. This wants nobody to know until the contracts are signed. Anyway, congratulations. You got the best right there. Good man. Anyway, before we get started with the show, and I'm going to bring Greg up. He'll talk about the co-feature because it's his fighter and he knows better than I do on what to say. The first thing you have to do is you have to thank Rob Fowler and Heidi Strong, and because none of this happens without them. I mean, they're unbelievable. So this is one of the finest places to work at, but these are two of the nicest people. They're focused, they know their job, they're very helpful. If there's a problem, it always gets worked out. Like I just said to Rob, I'd like to be here once a week, but I know that's not going to work. So, but anyway, thank you for everything. Before we get into the main event and co-feature, I want to bring up somebody that has been very influential in keeping boxing alive in Brazil. And he's a very dear friend of mine. I've known him for many years. He's my partner with Jackson Jr., who's a young fighter who's on the undercard. He's 13-0. 13-0? 12 knockouts? 13-12 knockouts. He will be back here in March in the co-feature on ESPN. And what's interesting about this is Eduardo's the biggest promoter in Brazil, and Jackson's fights are live on ESPN in Brazil. ESPN covers all the boxing in Brazil live, which is another 260 million people. So he won't make television this show, but he will in Brazil. They're going to tape the fight and then put it on the bird. But the next show, he'll be a co-feature, and it's a very exciting fighter. Doesn't know how to do anything but punch. So, but he's going to be in a dangerous fight because he knows that's the only way his career can go. If he wants to go up, he has to fight and have to fight hard. So I'd like to bring Eduardo Mello up to say a few words. Come on up here. Come up here and say a few words. His English is better than my Portuguese. Come on up here, say a few words. He's embarrassed because he wasn't expecting to do this. This is Eduardo Mello from Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Thank you, Lex. Thank you very much. It's an honor to be with you. It's a kind of a dream for us. Let's keep in touch. Again, thanks.
Is Eric Botcher here? Okay, well, whenever Dick's here, he'll be able to give us a rundown about what's happening with the undercard fights and what to expect. In the meantime, before we get to the main event, I'd like to have Greg come up. Tony Luis is a very exciting young fighter. ESPN is very happy he's in the co-feature. They love Canadian fighters, and if all goes well with him, Greg and Tony will be promoting fights on ESPN in Canada. So I'd like to have Greg come up and talk about Tony and the co-feature because, as I said, it's Greg's fighter and he knows much more than I do. Thank you. Greg, go. You're middleweight champion of the world.
Austin, no doubt, Trout. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out today. You know, to echo Artie's sentiments, we just love coming to Turning Stone. It's been wonderful since September. This is our third show here. We brought really big-time boxing to Turning Stone, and they couldn't be a more gracious host. Rob and Heidi just make everything so easy on us, and you know, we look forward to doing a lot more shows. Like Artie said, we'd come here every week if we could. This is really our favorite spot. Before I talk about Tony Lewis, I want to talk about another fight on the undercard, which is, I believe, going to be featured on the telecast as well. And that's the fight between Antoine Douglas and Emmanuel Medina. Antoine Douglas is a special fighter. He's 3-0, 3 knockouts. He was an outstanding U.S. amateur. And it's really a treat for the fans that they're going to get to see a future superstar at this stage of his career. And I know Antoine's not going to disappoint. He's right over there, so Antoine, you can say hello. Tony Lewis is a kid who had an unbelievable amateur background in Canada. I think he had 100 fights, or around there. He is 15-0 as a pro. He's fighting in the talent-rich division, the 140-pound junior welterweight division. He's really in for a test. I mean, we had a change of opponents in the last week and a half, and he's fighting Jose Hernandez, who I believe is a tougher opponent than Miguel Gonzalez, his original opponent. Hernandez knows this is his opportunity, and you know, a win over a guy like Tony Lewis on national television would springboard his career. I believe Tony is going to pass this test with flying colors. You know, he's a true professional, and I think this is going to be the launching pad for Tony, and I'm just excited that everybody here is going to get to see it, and everybody tuning in on ESPN. So I'd like to call Tony Lewis up to say a few words.
First off, I would just like to thank everyone, press and fans alike, for being here, and everybody who put the show together. I'm grateful. Thankful for the opportunity. This is my first step up in competition, and I think Greg worded it perfectly. This is the launching pad to my career when I get past this fight. I'm expecting a tough fight from Jose Hernandez. I know he's had a reputation for upsetting many prospects before, and I certainly don't want to fall in that category. It's a big opportunity for him. It's a big opportunity for me as well, and I'm not going to pass it up. And I'm looking forward to a great fight tomorrow. May the best man win.
Now I'd like to bring up Jose Hernandez to say a few words.
I'm not much on speeches and stuff. I'm just glad I'm here, and I'm glad God gave me this opportunity to be here. Like he said, we're both good fighters. I'm just here to do my job, and I'm hoping to pull the upset. Come here to do my best. Thank you.
Right now, I think I'd like to bring up Eric Botcher, because he has other things to do, but I want him to talk about the rest of the undercard before we get into the main event. So Eric, why don't you come up and tell everybody what's going on with the undercard, the swing bouts, and so on, and then you know, you can do whatever else you have to do. This is Eric Botcher, who's our matchmaker together. He's Greg's and he's mine as well.
Thanks, Sergiy. I think we have a great show, and it's a great mix between the television fights and the undercard fighters. We've got a little international flavor. We have a terrific Brazilian prospect by the name of Jackson Jr., who's the Latin American light heavyweight champion, and he's fighting in the United States for the first time. So it's he's very excited, obviously, for the opportunity, and we're very excited to see him. He's fighting Dante Craig, a former Olympian from Ohio. Should be a terrific fight. We have local flavor. We have the institutions of boxing here from the upstate New York area. Tony Graciano and Ray Rinaldi are here with their fighter Ryan McKenzie, who's undefeated. He's going to be fighting Rayshawn Myers. And we have a couple of young prospects from Kansas City. 122-pounder undefeated fighter John Franklin is going to be on the show. He's going to be in a 4-round fight with Micah Branch, also from Cincinnati. And Jose Saenz from Kansas City. He's in a 6-round fight at a junior welterweight with Jamil Tyson, who's from the upstate New York area. So the first fight, I believe, is at 7 p.m. You guys should get there early, not only see the televised fights, but see the undercard, because it's going to be a terrific show. Thank you very much.
On the undercard, we have Ryan McKenzie fighting Rayshawn Myers. Ryan has been on the past 2 shows we've done on HBO up here, the one in September, the one in October, he's...
I want to thank Banner Promotions. I probably have more to say after weigh-ins, but I'm a little bit hungry right now, so. You know, I'm just happy for the opportunity. I know he's going to come ready to fight. I know he got prepared. I had a good camp with Ronnie Shields in Houston. He wasn't able to make it because, you know, he's out with the Charlo twins for the Showtime fight. So I'm just excited, man. Like I said, I'll have more to say after the weigh-ins, man, but I'm just glad for the opportunity, and I will be victorious tomorrow. Thank you.
About Sergiy.
Добрый день, я рад всех приветствовать здесь, в этом зале. Такое ощущение, что я не уезжал отсюда, что я здесь как бы был. Тренировались постоянно, готовились к этому поединку. Я думаю, что бой будет очень интересный, потому что мы готовились, мы настраиваемся на победу.
He wants to thank everybody for participating in the show. He feels as though he hasn't left this place because he was just here recently. He feels it's going to be a very interesting fight tomorrow night, and of course he's going to be victorious. Thank you.
Спасибо большое также Арту, Banner Promotion, Гериша за то, что они дают мне возможность боксировать здесь, в Америке.
And a special thanks to Artie Palulu with Banner Promotions, Gary Shaw, for letting him fight in the United States.
So